If organizing your pantry is at the top of your list this year, I think you're going to like this journey with me through a pantry organization project. This particular woman I worked with was so frustrated because she felt that she was spending too much time every day at the grocery store just picking up a little here and a little there without really thinking of stocking her pantry. I think we've all been in her shoes. We decided the best place to start was with a trip to the grocery store, where I encouraged her to purchase a 3-month supply of food. We filled about 5 shopping carts, which was just perfect for her family. You'll notice she stocked up on staples like oil, barbecue sauce, cereal, salt, maple syrup, salad dressings, and, okay, even Oreo cookies. But everyone has to have their comfort foods, right? Now we loaded it all into the back of her truck, and here I am, excited to go home and help her get it all organized. First, we sorted through all the food. We made piles of canned fruits and canned vegetables, cereals, pastas, canned soups, crackers and cookies, snack foods, baking supplies, and the list goes on. You can see these plastic storage containers on the bench. We use these to store her large bags of sugar and flour for long-term storage to protect against bugs and perhaps even mice. Now here's the picture of her pantry before we went crazy with our organizing. You'll notice the ice cream toppings next to the tomato juice and the tuna next to the refried beans. There doesn't really seem to be much rhyme or reason to this setup. And notice how much headspace is lost by not taking advantage of the adjustable shelving she has. You'll also see all the cans of dried beans on the floor. Chances are she won't be really going through all those beans in 1 year, so we're going to move those to her long-term storage area. Now, do you see in the far lower right-hand corner she has 2 large white bins? One is filled with first aid supplies, Band-Aids and medications. While this may seem like a convenient place to grab a Band-Aid and go, we also have to consider that she has young grandchildren who may like to get in there, and safety is key. So we'll simply come up with a better storage solution for those. The basket below is great though, and it's a craft and art basket for those little grandkids. You'll notice she's filled it with crayons and paper. It's just perfect height for little hands to grab. Next to the baskets is her Nordstrom bag filled with paper bags she plans to reuse. A great idea. But we can find a better place for those and reduce the clutter in the meantime. In fact, we'll be hanging those behind her pantry door. Here we have some shelves that need a little attention. So she's gone ahead and not only fixed those, but also ordered 3 extra shelves so that we could take advantage of all of her space in the pantry. That was a great idea. In this picture, you can see there are paper goods mixed in everywhere, cups on both shelves, plastic wrap, and even kitchen bags stuffed in the back. And again, there seems to be quite a bit of headspace wasted on that middle shelf. So there's where we'll be inserting one of those extra shelves she ordered. So are you ready for the big reveal? In the space of only about 6 hours, we transformed this needy pantry into something spectacular. You'll see in the top left-hand corner that she now has a shelf just for her baking supplies, salts, oils, yeast, shortening, and so forth. On the next shelf, you'll see my handy click and flip containers that I'm always raving about. Can you see how all 4 of those are clearly labeled? One is filled with her instant lemonade powders and drinks. The other filled with a variety of nuts. One is just for baking chips, and the other for diet packets of energy drinks. Can you see how eliminating store packaging can reduce bulk and clutter in your pantry? On the third shelf, we filled 4 half-gallon containers with assorted pasta. It's so nice to be able to see clearly what's in there instead of trying to stack slippery bags onto your pantry shelf. Below are all her rice blends. On the shelf at the top right, you'll find all of her canned fruits, and at the bottom, all of her canned vegetables. Doesn't it just feel better already? The middle shelf on the right is stocked with all kinds of soups and spaghetti sauces. And the very bottom shelf is the perfect place for cans of hot chocolate and her muffin mixes. In the upper corner there, you'll notice we put a big basket of miscellaneous chip bags. Instead of stacking and stuffing them on a shelf, we've designated a special basket just for open bags so they stay tidy and sealed with clips. The next shelf down is where she'll find all those comfort snack foods you saw earlier, up and away from the little ones, but organized beautifully. The next shelf is the cereal shelf. You'll notice all the boxes on one side and 2 more click and flips on the other. One is filled with instant oatmeal packets, and the other is the perfect place for all of her seasoning packets, such as gravy mixes, dips, salad dressing mixes, and more. Placing items like these in flip-top containers makes them so easy to access, and they never get lost in the back of a shelf. Now, can you see all of those empty click and flip containers? Those we filled later with homemade pantry mixes and labeled each container as well. The bottom shelf was a great place to store her flours, sugars, and grains. Now let's keep going, there's more to be seen. This section is an extension of breakfast items. You'll see oats and cream of wheat, pancake mixes, and instant cereal packets. The shelf below is dedicated to peanut butters, jellies, jams, honey, and syrups. And below, the perfect spot for ice cream toppings, cones, and other sundae garnishes. Though a little tricky to see, we've stored canned juices and large cans of lemonade in the top right shelf, and then all of her beautifully dehydrated fruits and vegetables on the shelf below. You'll notice we used the 32-ounce containers I've talked about before. Those seem to work so well with dried foods. And remember the unruly paper goods? Well, we organized those too, with all the food wraps and bags on one shelf, napkins on the next, and finally our paper plates and bowls and utensils below. You'll notice I even used a special container to store small packets of natural sweetener, the perfect companion to cereal or teas. I filled the click and flip container with all of her plastic utensils. Here's another close-up of the first pantry shot. You'll see at the top all of her salad dressings, condiments, vinegars, and croutons. No more searching for the perfect salad toppers. It's all now in one place. So it's time to stand back and take it all in. A place of order, a place where everything fits, and even room to grow. And finally, one last peek at what was done with her mismatched spice cabinet. Well, what do you think of this? All transferred to matching glass spice jars and labeled alphabetically in a drawer. This is truly what I call comfort in the kitchen. So what are you waiting for? Your pantry can be just as lovely and as organized as this one. And it doesn't really matter if you just have a few cupboards or a large walk-in room. If you can learn to organize your food by groups and then containerize them in proper storage containers, you also can enjoy a clutter-free kitchen. So be sure to have fun with your organizing and document your befores and afters. And remember, having an organized kitchen is just another way of simply living smart.